Dear one, this short and very simple video has the potential of changing your entire life in the most beautiful way imaginable if you are willing to embody and integrate, act on that which I'm about to speak to, which is facing your fears, embracing your insecurities, following your intuitive guidance, all of which are far more tolerable than avoiding them and skirting around your fears and walking around your insecurities, dodging them, setting up your life in a way to where you don't have to look at yourself in the mirror, metaphorically speaking, honoring, acknowledging your intuitive guidance and following it is far more tolerable than ignoring that phone call. Even though you can avoid your fears, you can set up your life in a way to where you don't actually have to confront and transmute your insecurities. And you can avoid them. You can try to head in a different direction, if you will. And you can meditate your way into being content and grateful on that journey, certainly. But what you are going to eventually realize is you've been heading in the wrong direction the entire time, as opposed to the direct path, facing your fears head on. As Carl Jung once famously said, the cave you fear the most holds the treasure you seek. The insecurities that you are afraid to embrace and to speak to acknowledge, to share, to talk about. On the other side of doing that is pure confidence, it's power, it's bliss, it's alignment, it's surrendering to the beauty of who you actually are. It's allowing yourself to be supported and to be guided by something that you can't or probably can't intellectualize, and you certainly can't see, which it's this boundless love from the one, the universe, God. The direct path is always the fastest path. It's always the most rewarding path. It's typically the path that requires the most faith. It requires you being willing to, in the eyes of the mind-body complex, it requires you to take risks. Now, of course, they're not actually risks because they're you doing what you need to do, being who you need to be, saying what you need to say in order for you to create perhaps what we can call fulfillment and alignment. And what I mean by it's not being risky, well, perhaps you've heard the narrative of, is it risky for you to follow your dreams, or is it risky for you to not follow them and to do something that you don't want to do for the rest of your life? Which one is more risky? When you look at it that way, it's quite obvious. Is it risky for you to have that very vulnerable conversation with your partner or with your ideal partner? Or is it risky for you to never have that conversation? You see, every single one of you right now, whether you are willing to acknowledge it or not, you all know exactly what you need to do and who you need to be to create the magnificent, beautiful, epic, adventurous, amazing, abundant, healthy life that you desire. And your unwillingness to see that is what creates struggle, suffering, resistance, and all the like. Every single one of you, you know what the most immediate next step is to move the needle in the right direction towards creating alignment and fulfillment. And it's not always a doing, it might be a being, which, if we went a little bit deeper in that narrative, being is a doing, thinking is an action, it is a thing. Perhaps many of you watching this right now, your intuitive guidance has been telling you something that you need to do to improve or to strengthen, to optimize your health. It's been telling you, hey, maybe you should be doing more of this, less of this. Maybe you should drink a little less alcohol, for example, right? That might not be relative or in resonance to you, but to many of you watching, it might be. And yet, even though there's that intuitive guidance telling you, do this, don't do this, and it's simple advice. It's always simple advice. The truth is always obviously simple. Even though that's there, you still buy the books, watch the videos, listen to the podcasts of very comprehensive, very advanced health principles, which are all great, and I love them all, and they all have their time and their place. But it's like trying to build a castle on quicksand. Set the foundation. What's the foundation? Follow your intuitive guidance and master that. And by mastering that, you have a solid, very dense foundation to begin doing the fun little Andrew Huberman health hacks. But until you honor your intuition, it's pointless. It might look cool. You might be able to post about it, and other people might be like, yo, you're improving. But like, you will know, and you're just skirting around the direct path. And you can fool yourself into making progress, but you will soon realize, and I'm speaking from personal experience, obviously here, you will soon realize that you're heading in the wrong direction. It's still a beautiful, worthy direction. None of it's a waste. But it is the wrong direction. And you will, if you're heading in the wrong direction, you're just going to experience catalyst after catalyst after catalyst, after challenge after obstacle that's trying to jolt you into waking up to actually taking and acting on the direct path. So many of you know what you need to do with your health, but you're not doing it. Many of you know what you need to do with your finances or with your passion, with your career, with how you serve the world, but you're not doing it, and you're trying to do all of these other things that just overcomplicate it. Follow your intuition, master that, and then as you master that, you can acquire more stuff. Perhaps that's one way of putting it. It's just like you just got to build that solid foundation of strength. You have to use a weightlifting analogy, which I love the gym, and it's a perfect metaphor for life. You have to, for example, be able to squat the barbell without any weight before you begin to put more weight on it. What most people do is they watch these videos, they take these courses, they study these books, and they try to put 5 plates on each side of the barbell and then get underneath it. And then they're unable to be consistent. They're unable to be disciplined. And because of that, they have a hard time really seeing much change. And then they get down on themselves. And then it's just this perpetual cycle of up and down and being on this hamster wheel. And it's so exhausting. How do you bypass that? How do you transcend that? Through taking the direct path through quieting the mind and the body, eliminating distraction from the outside world, from people, from things. And you don't have to do this for a long period of time, just a few moments. A few breaths is plenty. One breath is enough. But you quiet the mind and the body, and with a sincerity and authenticity and earnestness, you ask for guidance. What do I need to do? And you can direct it to a specific issue, challenge, obstacle that you're facing. Perhaps it's health, perhaps it's relationships, perhaps it's abundance and how you serve. What do I need to do? What do I need to do to improve my health? Oh, maybe I should wake up a little bit earlier, drink more water, reduce my caffeine, don't take my phone into the bedroom. It's all obvious stuff, right? What do I need to do to improve my relationship? Oh, maybe I shouldn't lash out when I get frustrated. Maybe I should have that very uncomfortable conversation to tell her what I want and how I feel. It's all obvious stuff. It's all very simple. It becomes not so simple when we're distracted and we're pulled around in so many directions, which is why the way the world is set up today creates so many people who feel lost because they're pulled around. This phone, these responsibilities, these bills, these expectations that you need to uphold, the fact that you're connected with so many people, and every single one of those connections, you feel like you live up to a certain image or whatever it may be, creates so much discomfort, right? You can let it all go by simply breathing. You can let it all go by simply breathing and being here now and asking for guidance and being willing to embody, to integrate, and to act on that guidance. You have the strength, you have the competence, you have the ability. The guidance you receive is within your wheelhouse of implementation. You will never be given guidance that you can't adhere to. It's not how guidance from your higher mind, from God, from your intuition, from the universe works. Take the direct path. Do it with a big smile on your face. You don't have to smile, but if you can, why not? Right? And in those moments where you catch yourself trying to skirt around your insecurities, your fears, your guidance, acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. Call yourself out. And then, boom, you catch yourself head in here, and then, boom, change it. Go north. Stop going the other directions. Go north. That's it today. Take the direct path. This is how you create freedom. This is how you create so much health, so much wealth, and so much epic love. Talk soon.